Hey Chris, I'm a Windows user, but I try to keep up with Linux because of my study and I hope my work environment. I tested tons of desktops, distros, but it feels pretty much every single time the lack of quality of life makes something that could be very good, but is not really. I don't know if I'm explaining myself clearly. I'm speaking for a daily driver. Dude, totally get it. I think that's a great IKZ. I think that is the antithesis of every single Windows user that switches over to Linux. Everyone feels that way when you come over. No one's like, oh, I get it. This is perfect. That does not exist in the Linux realm. Linux user might make you think that. That's the thing about Linux users. They make you think that it's super easy and that anybody that comes over, they just get it. And if you don't get it, you're an idiot. No. That's not how it works. Everyone that comes over goes, ah, crap. Oh, what am I missing? Oh, crap. I need Adobe. Ah, crap. I need to play Destiny 2. Ah, crap. Can't do Warzone. Geez, I need Microsoft Office. Oh, man. No, I need Visual Studio Community because I got C# programming to do. Oh, gosh. You know, the list goes on and on. And the answer to this question or statement, I guess you made, IKZ, is this. There's certain things that Linux is just amazing. Like this right here, just flipping through and be like, I'm going to check the browser. No, I'm going to come back and read Twitch chat. I'm going to go over here and play around with Vim. Oh, this feels so good. And there's no way in hell I could do this in Windows. But there's things in Windows, same thing. Everything I just mentioned. It goes both ways. So the question really is not, hey, I need quality of life. What you're really saying or articulating to me is there's things I do in Windows that I want to do in Linux, but I either don't know how to or possibly they're impossible. Possibly impossible. And it's really either finding alternatives for those things, like instead of using Microsoft Office, using LibreOffice. Instead of using Adobe, using XPDF. Instead of using Photoshop, you're using GIMP. Instead of using, the list goes on and on and on. And really, it just matters. It boils down to you. What do you want to do? Do you want to take the time to learn Linux and change your workflow for Linux? That's the thing. And that's really the only question you have to ask and answer yourself. Do you want to change what you know and your workflow to be a Linux user? If your answer to that is no, I don't have time, then Linux is not for you. If the answer to that question is, yeah, I really, really am sick of Windows, then you should do it. But inevitably, in that journey, what I would say is you need to dual boot for a bit, figure out what you can do, what you can't do. If you can, there's always another way of doing things, and typically there is a different way of doing things in Linux compared to Windows, and it's learning that stuff. But trying to pigeonhole your Windows workflow into Linux just is never going to work. It doesn't work for anybody. You just got to change it. And that's the God's honest truth. I wish people would tell new users instead of just use Linux, because most people, they just don't understand anything I just said. And for those people, stay in Windows. See, that's a good, I love this one from Assassin. I hate Linux desktop. I hate troubleshooting Windows Server. I enjoy Windows Desktop and love Linux Server OS. I feel like most of the population fall into this category. It makes the most sense. From a sysadmin or IT professional point of view, I would say most sysadmins don't like Linux Desktop. They don't like Windows Server. They love Windows Desktop, and they love Linux Server OS. That was me for many, many years. I fell right into here. So I feel like probably 80% of your IT professionals would agree with this statement. Yeah, and it's true. Linux is, as a daily, is true commitment. And but it's a weird thing. The more you learn about Linux desktop, the easier it does get. But it's a very, man, the skill ceiling for Linux desktop daily use is so freaking high because everything changes. There's different tools. There's so much to learn, so many rabbit holes to go down. It's just a ridiculous experience. But I love it. But I understand. To me, a lot of times, like messing around with Hyperland here, that's like many people's playing a video game. I love this shit. It's great. I love just throwing shit at the wall and figuring out what works, what looks good, and then making something. I'm like, oh, nobody has this desktop right here. This right here is a Titus special. It's mine. There's only one in the world configured exactly like this. And there's no way in hell I could ever replicate it because I don't remember what I did. But regardless, it is unique. I can't even recreate it. And that's kind of where we're at. Until it goes up on GitHub. Somebody might rewatch all these streams and piece together something, but my God, that would be quite the endeavor. That's not going to be me.